involved in any other work that the foundation does that has any kind of financial implication. But that's a little bit different response. I'm not sure I quite agree with the fundamental premise that one has to be involved through development efforts in generating the ability to save. That's good, and a lot of what we're doing is increasing incomes, and that's terrific. And those families will undoubtedly save more if they have an opportunity. But one of the things I'm absolutely convinced of is that virtually every single family engages in saving behavior, in setting aside something out of present consumption for a future need, period. And they do it in non-financial terms with huge efficiency loss, as in the Mexican example. And so it's just the way you survive. I mean, otherwise you can't make it through life. And I think that there are probably immediate efficiency gains, financial efficiency gains, that are quite substantial, even for some of the poorest people in the world, if they had access to the kind of account that one could imagine, but which we haven't been able to offer yet. And this is where maybe technology helps us do something that wasn't so easy. Or, I'm looking at Renee, maybe some of the kinds of village-level groups, allow that sort of mechanism to happen. They have their own sets of problems all over the world. But, we need to be looking a lot more aggressively at what are the options for people who have variable income flows, variable cash flows, who can't make payments during a month or two because there's no income, they're food deficit. And yet at other times of the year have they harvest a little something and they could set something aside. How can we kind of understand that whole class of people? People are casual laborers. They work during a harvest season and they're off for a few months, and maybe they got a little extra money, or someone who receives a remittance. And is there any way to make that stickier? Results have been mixed about how sticky remittances are in a deposit account that's open to receive them. But how hard have we really worked at what it would take to make that more sticky? Anyway, I just think there's a huge amount of work to do in understanding all of these sorts of things that seem just so commonsensical, but that have been so hard to do given our present cost structures, the way we're organized, the way we're licensed, and also kind of the mentality from which we've come, right? The mentality from which we come says, you're poor. When you're poor, what don't you have? Money. What do you need? More money. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that's okay too. But maybe there's a bunch of other stuff we could maybe address with technology that's becoming available.
So, Bob, I have a question regarding I had to pinch myself today listening to your talk, see if I was really here and what I was hearing. I want to talk about the partners that you have. It seems like in our industry the trend has been in the past that the donors have tended to select one firm that has the master contract and kind of dribbles out resources to subcontractors to do work in their specific areas. And I'm wondering whether the Gates Foundation is going to follow that kind of pattern, or whether there will be individual opportunities for firms that have specialties in certain areas to have direct relationships with the Gates, or are we going to be